Hey, Bougie Club. What's going on? I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to get in. Please put a comment in the comment section so I know that you guys are here. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Um, if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube and like and subscribe. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes, and I apologize for last Sunday. Because last Sunday I did a whole live and I wasn't live. And then when I thought I was logging off, I was actually logging on. So you guys got to listen to 20 minutes of silence. So I apologize for that, but I also love you all. Thank you, Celia, for jumping on and letting me know what was going on, because I was totally oblivious to the situation and completely grateful I wasn't doing anything inappropriate when I thought I was off camera. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes, and I wanted to talk to you all about my discoveries or revelations, realizations that have been occurring lately. So I'm trying to get to another level of acceptance of change. Hold on, let me see if I'm on here, because Facebook isn't showing me. Let's see. Am I live, y'all? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my software. Yes, okay, it's saying I'm on. So, you guys may have not tuned in yet. So look, I've been dealing with learning how to accept change. I understand that change is constant, but I've also come to a realization that I have a difficult time embracing change. And I think it stems from living so many years in a sense of lack of security. And so when a situation or my environment is stable, I feel secure. And then if it gets disrupted, I have this sense of insecurity, which breeds a sense of fear, even though I know, like, deep down everything's okay. So does anybody else suffer from that? So let me give you some examples of how this has been showing up and how I'm coming to the realization that there's no such thing as loss. It's only an opportunity to move forward into a greater expansion of knowing. So you guys know I love flowers. Sunday, I tried to show you a flower, right? So I bought this plant a couple of weeks ago, and it's called a pocketbook purse. And I really like this plant because, for one, it's called a pocketbook purse, and who doesn't want more pocketbooks, right? You know, ladies, we like pocketbooks. And then also, when I got it, there were only like 3 flowers on it, and I was like, oh wow, this will be a great symbolism of growth. It'll be a great semblance of increase in my finance. I bought the plant. And when I bought the plant, the guy was like, oh yeah, it's a perennial, but it blooms like an annual. So once it's done blooming and all the flowers fall off, just throw it away. And I had an issue with throwing it away because in my mind, it's a plant and it's a living thing. You just don't disregard life. And the guy at the garden center was like, it's just a plant. After it's done what it's done, just throw it away. It doesn't have any feelings. And so that's like been playing in the back of my mind. So ironically enough, several of the leaves have fell off, the little flower buds. I don't know where they go, but you can see like these little black, well, maybe you can't see them that good with the light, but when they fall off, they have like the little dead part. So this one was puffed up yesterday and it fell off. And again, I saved it. Now, I wasn't saving it to talk to you all today, but for some reason I saved it. It was pretty. I didn't want to give it away. So I like plants because plants teach us so much about life and what goes on. And so after this flower has bloomed and the bloom have served its purpose, it falls off. But when it falls off, another one sprouts up. So I don't know if you can see it, but like this one is getting ready to bloom. This one is getting ready to bloom. There's this sprout wasn't even there, so there's another sprout that's coming under here. And so this plant is steady blooming and evolving, and I'm not really doing anything to it, but at the same time it's not crying and it's not holding on to the leaves. Like the little flower fell off and the plant didn't even know where it went, and the plant didn't even care. But when we lose things and we experience as a loss, we see it as a bad thing. We're trying to chase it and bring it back. We're trying to worry about why it left. And I think the most monumental loss for us or change for us comes with relationships, especially relationships with people, because we have serious issues with breakups and people not talking to us, or people transitioning on from this life. And so there was the symbolism and the lesson in the plant, but that just like went over my head. So yesterday I was at the store and I had my AirPods in, and I was talking to my niece and my sister, and at some point my AirPod fell out of my ear, and I didn't realize it until I had probably been in the store maybe 2 hours looking for something to wear to an event. And when I realized the AirPod was lost, I went and I started looking for it because I wanted my AirPod. But I didn't even notice that it was missing. Like, it was there the whole time. I don't know when it fell out of my ear. I didn't think enough of it when I hung up the call to put it in my pocket or my purse or back in the case. So it's kind of like I had it, but I really wasn't appreciating it. And that's what happens with so many of our moments. Like in this moment, in each moment, we don't really appreciate it until it's gone or we realize that the moment has passed. Hey, Miss Sharon. Oh, how is Cam? How are the boys? I haven't seen you jump on in a long time. I'm going to hit you up in the inbox. So in that whole 2 hours of shopping, I paid the AirPod no attention. And it wasn't until I got ready to check out that I realized I lost the AirPod. So I lost my AirPod. I only have one now. And then I proceeded to spend 30 minutes. It was a good 30 minutes looking for this missing AirPod. And I retraced all my steps. Let me tell you guys, you do not realize how much white pieces of trash, like little pieces of paper, are on the floor until you start looking for an AirPod. And I'm looking all over, like I'm going to all the section. I had went to the food court, so I'm back tracking all the way to the food court looking for this AirPod. And I'm distraught because I can't find this AirPod. I've even pulled other people in to my holding on to this AirPod that is lost. Like the moment is gone, the AirPod is gone, and I'm still trying to find it. And I'm asking the ladies at the different I'm in Macy's, so I'm at the different little checkout counters. Have anybody turned in the AirPod? I went back to the dressing rooms I was in, and there was somebody in the dressing room. Now I'm disturbing their shopping experience, knocking on the door. Excuse me, do you happen to see an AirPod in there? And the lady was like, no, but let me put my pants up and you can come in here and look. So now I'm bringing all of these people in, disrupting their moments for my lost moment or my lost AirPod. I take this thing all the way to the extreme. Now I've gone all the way upstairs to the lost and found, and then I've engaged somebody else, and this lady is helping me look for my AirPod, because people like to help. People are compassionate and they have concern. So she's helping me look for my AirPod. She's gone to the back office, took down my name and my phone number, and somebody finds it, we'll call you. All of this for this AirPod, y'all. Now, I should be shamed, but I told you I'm struggling with security and struggling with change. And so when something changes, there's just something that's in me that's programmed apparently from life experience that I have an issue dealing with loss. And I know I'm not the only one. Now, this is the kicker. I have, the Oscars is tonight. Okay, well, y'all catch it on the replay. I have a whole brand new, a whole nother thing of AirPods. A whole nother set of AirPods. These are the new AirPods. These are the AirPod Pros. But yet I spent 30 minutes in a store looking for these AirPods. Don't ask me why. I knew I had these AirPods. I bought them for my son because he had an experience where he lost one of his AirPods. And so for Christmas, I bought him the new pair, but he had already replaced his. So I just got an extra pair of AirPods. And the whole time I'm in the store feeling this loss over this AirPod, I got a whole nother pair. So there's stuff that you're mourning, relationships that you're holding on to, that you have a newer, better version of it. But for some reason, you won't let this go. Or either there's a newer, better version of it that's available to you, but you still trying to hold on to the old AirPod. You still rambling around on the floor in the department store looking peculiar, searching for an AirPod, picking up all these little pieces of paper. But there was still a lesson and a beauty in this, because what I realized is I had been in that store for 2 hours and in all of those places, and I'm sure that those pieces of paper that resembled my AirPod from a distance were there the whole time, but I wasn't looking for them. And so what I took away from that is sometimes the loss has to happen so that you can pay attention to the things that were there the whole time. Sometimes the loss has to happen so that you can have an engagement with other people, so that you can realize that people are compassionate, because we get so caught up in our own little world and our own sense of security that we miss what's all around us. Had I not lost my AirPod, I wouldn't have knocked on that dressing room door, and the lady wouldn't have extended me the courtesy of trying to help me find what I had lost. And so sometimes the loss has to occur for you to realize something that's been surrounding you the whole time. So like I'm telling you, if the loss makes you feel insecure, then when you have other people who are strangers that don't know you from a can of paint starting to participate in a quest for something to make you feel secure, to make you feel better, that's what you have to acknowledge. So I shouldn't have been focusing on the AirPod that was lost, because for one, I had a whole nother pair, but for two, that experience allowed me to see there are so many things around me that go unnoticed, that I'm not paying attention to because I'm so focused on one thing. I was so focused on finding a suit that I didn't even realize my AirPod had fallen out my ear. I can't even tell you when it fell out. But it also gave me the opportunity to discover something that I didn't know. So when you lose the relationship, when you lose the loved one, when you lose the AirPod, understand that there's still beauty in that. There's a lesson in there's a greater piece of information that's going to come to you because of that loss. So when I get home, I'm talking to my little sister on the phone, and I grab my other AirPod, because you don't have to use both of them at one time, and I put them in my ear. And she's like, I thought you said you lost your AirPod. I was like, yeah, but I have another one. She said, well, just order a replacement. And I'm like, a replacement? Now, mind you, my son lost the AirPod. I bought him a whole nother pair. Never did it occur to us in November that you could order a replacement to your AirPods. I'm just thinking you just have to get a whole new pair. So he bought a whole new pair and I bought a whole new pair. But the reality of it is there are so many solutions to a problem, and the solutions that are available may be more convenient. They may be more affordable than you even think about, but you're so focused on the loss that you don't see the possibilities. So I go online today and I ordered a replacement AirPod for the right ear, which is the one that I lost, and it cost me $50. Now, I paid, these are the AirPod Pros. One of the girls that I follow on Instagram was selling them for Christmas for like $127. So I got them for a really reasonable price, but they retail for $250. The second generations retail for $140. So now let's think about this. My son lost his AirPod. He spent $150 on replacing them. I spent $250 on replacing them. So when you add $150 and $250, you're talking about $400. Now, I got this plant because I wanted this plant to be a reminder of abundance for money, right? And so we always focus on money and we want more money. How much more money could I have had if we wouldn't have been focusing on the loss and been open to a possibility? Because we could have saved $350 had we just ordered a replacement AirPod. However, I had to lose this one to know that a replacement was even possible. So there's probably people on here now that didn't know that you could replace one AirPod, but now you know, so I've saved you some money. But what I'm saying is we'll be praying for things like abundance in our finances, but we'll be so focused on the things that we lost, we'll be squandering our resources in the abundance that's right in front of us, chasing after something that we need to let go because we're not exploring the possibilities. And I know y'all like, how did you get all of this out of an AirPod? I can't explain it to you. God speaks to me in mysterious ways. So when these things come to me, I just get on here and I share them with you all. So there's someone who's still stuck in mourning the loss of something, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a lost AirPod, whether it's the $20 you lost, whether it's a loved one you lost. You're stuck in the loss because the loss is making you feel insecure. But what I want to tell you is your support and everything that you need is already around you. You just can't see it because your focus is in the wrong place. So I want to encourage you to expand your focus because you don't have to feel insecure. You're not alone, and the loss was purposeful because it's trying to bring you to another level of expansion, another level of possibilities. I didn't know that you could order an extra AirPod. So now I ordered an extra AirPod. Again, I got a whole nother pair, but I really don't like these. I like the other ones. Why do I like the other ones when they always fall out my ear? That's a whole nother thing I'm going to have to reconcile and come to terms with. But at the same time, there were so many lessons and depths to the lessons in losing an AirPod and just realizing that we really don't pay attention to all of the things that are around us until we have a loss. And maybe that's why loss is so hard, because we're faced with the realization of all the missed opportunities. So learn how to live in the moment. That's what I got for this. Learning to appreciate the moment right now, this second, not the next second, but right now, because there's an answer to something. There's a sense of security in something. It's all right here. Like, I know I say this all the time that we have everything we need, but we get so focused on things that are so insignificant, because in the grander scheme of things, losing an AirPod was not significant. I have a whole nother AirPod from this set that still allows me to use it. I have a whole nother pair. So losing that one AirPod should have been something that I was just like, okay, keep it moving. It's lost and it's gone. But I had to lose it to come to the realization that my focus has been in the wrong place. My focus is often in the wrong place, and that I need to come to terms with there is no such thing as insecurity for me unless I choose to feel insecure. So if you're feeling insecure, or if you're having difficult letting go of someone or a relationship or a thing, let it go, because you're really holding yourself back. This plant does not mourn off of any flower bloom that falls. I promise you don't. I've been seeing them fall on the floor and the plant has not cried, not once, at least not audibly for me to hear. But what it does do is keep on growing. It keeps on sprouting new blooms. Like it's a whole nother bloom coming that wasn't coming. Like it keeps living, it keeps growing, it keeps on going and fulfilling its purpose, no matter if the other blooms around it that it already created are falling off around it. So I want you to know that loss is a process, and it's not a loss. Like maybe we should quit thinking of it as a loss and start reframing it as an opportunity for a new possibility. Because that plant started off with 3 blooms. Those blooms are gone, but it keeps on producing and it keeps on growing because it's not trying to hold on to the blooms that fell. It's not even thinking about the blooms that fell. It's not crying over them. It's not focused on them. It's focused forward and continuing to grow. So I want you guys to feel secure in whatever it is that you're going through and understand that it was not a loss. It was an opportunity for you to discover new possibilities. There are so many variations to a solution to a problem, but you have to shift your focus and be willing to consider something else. That's it. Like it cost this was a $400. These AirPods were a $400 lesson to something that I already knew, but I had to be reminded of. It was a $400 lesson of expansion. So I can't even think of the $400 as a loss. It was an investment in my growth. Like it was an investment in my growth. So now that when I move forward into experiences, I don't have to feel insecure. So I hope this helps somebody. I know I was talking about AirPods, but see behind the AirPods and apply it to a situation that's happening in your life right now so that you can shift your focus and realize that you're surrounded by possibilities, so that you can realize that there are complete strangers that are willing to assist you in finding a solution to your problem. There are complete strangers, hey Miss Juliet, that are willing to participate in providing you comfort and security and to let you know that it's okay, and they will help you even if you never find what you think you're looking for. They will help you discover something that's a possibility that you never knew exists. So keep growing, keep moving forward, enjoy the moment. And understand that whatever you think you lost, it just means that that moment for it in your life was over. But it doesn't mean that your life was over. That's all I got for y'all, Bougie Club. I hope this encourages you and inspires y'all. Miss Sherilyn said the Oscars are on. Y'all know I don't watch TV. I knew about the Super Bowl. Totally missed the Oscars. So I'm going to let y'all get back to TV. Thank you all for those of you who caught it on the replay. I love you all as always. I'm encouraging you to be bold, outspoken, unapologetic, goodwill, inspiring, and epic every day. I love you all in this life and the next, and continue to be open to possibilities. Reimagine everything because the possibilities are infinite. I love you guys and good night.